my channel, welcome back. If you're not, welcome. This is going to be Rayla's 5-month and 6-month update. Side note, my other daughter's right here, Genevera, so you're just going to hear her in the background. Now, for Rayla's 5 months and 6-month updates, they're going to be more educational based, just because I have a certificate in early childhood development. So I do know a little bit of like what I'm talking about when it comes to children's development. So if you don't like that content, then please click on a different video. I also will be talking about my daughter's specific updates. So yeah, let's just hop into it. Now, I did spin, if I'm looking down a lot, it's because I have all of my notes on my tablet. So let's just get into it. So, yeah, hi, Pumpkin. Your baby at 5 months. Your baby is starting to realize where sounds are coming from. Also, your baby will start to recognize where the sound is coming from. You can test this by jiggling a toy to see if they turn their head to that toy. If they do not, then you obviously contact your doctor, get a hearing test done, do the recommended things that is recommended. 2, your baby may be able to recognize their own name and understand that you're speaking to them when you say it. You may notice that your little one turns their head when you call them or talk to them about them with other people. 3, at this age, your baby doesn't learn language from listening to the television or videos, so use your own dialogue to encourage them by talking with your baby. 4, developmental and emotional. Yeah, your baby is affected by your emotions and can pick up on them. One way to help with this is you can start naming out your feelings. This will help later on with toddler tantrums, which is proven. My kids are still working on this. They are 8, 5, 4, and 2, and almost 7 months old, or almost 8 months old. Yeah, hi Vera. Okay, number 5. Your baby still needs you to properly respond when they're upset to help soothe them and calm them down. You are not spoiling your baby, you are building their strong emotional regulation skills. Some people do think that they are spoiling their babies by picking them up too much. Especially like the older generation, they're like, don't pick your baby up too much, don't do this with your baby, don't do that. But really, you're not spoiling them, you're literally just helping them with their emotional regulation. So don't feel bad for picking up your baby or coming to them when they're crying. It's just normal. Yes, sorry for the other child in the background. 6, at this point, your baby is showing a strong attachment to you by raising their arms when they want to be picked up and crying. When you leave the room, they may also give you a hug and a kiss. Also, your baby will begin to get the joke. They will laugh at funny expressions and try to make you laugh too. Keep the comedy flowing with your silly faces. Your babies will love them. Okay? Sitting and bouncing at 5 months. Your baby is sitting independently, standing nearly for support. Even if you provide a space crash for your baby to fall on, babies will have mastered their sitting skills, but they still might lose their interest in being upright in an upright and sitting position. Also, your baby may start to bounce up and down when you hold them. Your baby loves these activities now. A great way to introduce your baby to jumping is by supporting your baby while they're jumping. So, like supporting your baby underneath the arms while they're jumping, or using a jumping a bouncer, a sitting bouncer, or a jumping bouncer. Okay, number 8. Getting your baby used to other people. A strong, lasting bond throughout. Okay, hold on. I just lost my place. So, getting your baby used to other people, like, day by day. So it's important for both parents to be involved in baby care tasks like changing diapers, bathing, and feeding, exposing babies to 2 friends and family, too. So exposing them to family and stuff like that. Holding your baby while the other parent is in place, then giving them over to the other person and staying close. Eventually leaving briefly and coming right back. Repeating this step may make the interaction go better. So your baby still has, they're starting to get stranger danger. They're starting to realize they are a person without you. So doing these skills will help with the stranger danger attachment. Like, they're attached to you, which is also a good thing, but these skills, like repeating, like, oh, I'm going to hand the baby to this person for just a couple minutes and walk out for a second to go to the bathroom. It's just, if you keep doing that, that will help them regulate. Your baby is getting better at sitting, or getting better at reaching very small objects and tracking objects when moving things. At this point, they may be able to recognize an object after seeing only parts of it, like their favorite toy, underneath, like peeking underneath the couch. You can do this by playing hide and seek with their toy. So you can encourage this skill by them like putting their toy on a blanket and hiding the toy underneath the blanket. That will also encourage this. Okay. 10. A little earlier, baby will learn the distance between small, bold colors. Now they begin to separate. Hold on. They will begin to differentiate two different colors in pastels. Reading books about colors or playing with coloring book blocks is a great way to learn about the coloring pattern. Okay, I may write this down, but my dyslexia reading this out loud is a whole different other story. So basically, your baby is now seeing different colors, and to help them see different colors is by getting color books. They can see like red, they can see green, blue, pastel colors now at 5 months old. Their eyesight is mostly almost developed. There's still some aspects, but you can also just encourage this by reading books, by playing with blocks that are colorful. Anything that's colorful, like Monarch Center toys, will help them with this in their eyesight too. Unless your baby needs glasses or has some other type of thing wrong with their eyes. Definitely always, definitely always consult your doctor about that. Yeah, I see, baby. I see. Okay, 11. Your baby's ability to interact with you and others. Yeah, here you go, baby girl. With other. I'm not editing this out, so give me a second. Okay, your baby's ability to interact with you and others and their surrounding is growing daily. At this stage, they may start playing little games as they begin to understand the simple actions have results. You may drop an object for them to pick them up or see how they fall. So your baby may drop an object to see how it falls, to see how it sounds, to see how you react, and they think it's a little game. As they begin to understand the simple actions have results. You may think this is annoying, but in reality, they are achieving experimental and learning important cognitive skills. So by your baby dropping objects, they're learning cognitive skills that are important for their development. You may think it's mischievous or if it's annoying, but in reality, they're just learning the cognitive skills. Okay. 12. Baby's head control, or baby's hand control. Learning how to hold things in it is a big deal. It can take lots of practice. By the time your little one is about 6 months old, your baby's hand control is developed enough that they can bring a small object towards themselves. They may not always grab it, but they can bring it to them. You can help your baby practice these skills by placing a toy within reach and waiting for them to bring it closer. You can also help your baby learn to pass objects back and forth by giving them a small rattle or a toy to hold onto. Then help them transfer it to the other hand and then move back to the original hand and so on. That's actually kind of cool. I didn't know that until I started doing this research. Yes, hi, Pumpkin. I see the toy. I know. Okay, so 13. I'm trying to not lose my track. Lose my place. Your baby babbling. Your baby sees and hears the words almost as well sees the world and hears as well as you do. Their communication skills are expanding rapidly. You might hear expanding rapidly, and you can expect them by hearing squeals, little squeals, sounds. Operation change. At this age, about half of babies babbling repeats "mama, mama," ga ga, or da da. Now, it is easier to say da da, like the sound da da, or over mama. So some babies might be even saying their first words. But don't expect them to be saying mom because it is a little bit harder for them to pronounce, as it is a harder sound. Okay. Over a few will even add other symbols to making their sounds more complex. You can encourage your baby to babble by playing games, by babbling back and forth, by mimicking them. So you can, okay, if they're saying ma, 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 you can be like, you're saying ma, ma, ma. Or if they're saying like ga, 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 just copy them, and this will help with their language development. Yeah, see, ma, 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 ma. You gonna do it back? Say, how are you? So just make a game out of it, and it'll help with their language. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? So it will help them with their language. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? My day is going good. And you? She's so cute. Okay, so that's everything that your baby is doing at 5 months developmentally. Now, for my daughter, for Rayla at 5 months, she was still doing these things. We were still in and out of hospitals. At 5 months, we were just 1 month from being out of the hospital because she was sick with brew episodes. So she was doing all these things, but she was doing them a little behind because she was premature. Remember, premature babies do take some time to adjust to these developmental stones. Wow. Developmental, milestones. So even though Rayla wasn't doing these just because she was out of the hospital, we didn't get to do a whole lot just because she was sick. We had, she had her heart, like the valve of her left heart was open at that time. She had to wear a heart monitor, not a heart monitor, but a thing that monitors her heart rate and her oxygen, just because a brew episode is brief, unexpected event. That means your baby stops breathing for unknown reasons. For her reason, it was due to her acid. Her reason was due to her acid reflux, and that was called Standard syndrome, if I'm pronouncing that right. And we also had to go see genetic testing. So those are still out. I'm not going to say where I live or anything like that, but those testing are still out. We're still waiting on the swallow test for her. So for 5 months, she's doing okay. Now, she is almost 8 months old, so we are a little delayed in this update. So that's pretty much what was going on for her for 5 months, from what I can remember from my memory. Now, your body at 5 months postpartum, your body is primarily focused on gathering and returning to pre-pregnancy state, with noticeable changes happening in the muscle tone and conditioned tissues restoring. As the uterus is mostly fat. Basically, your uterus is returning back to normal. Your hormones are returning back to normal. You may have not fully lost the baby weight, which is okay. You know, your stretch marks are still there. They may be still prominent. If you had a vaginal delivery, your uterus muscles are still trying to get back to normal, especially even after a C-section. Those might be harder, so don't be hard on yourself if your abdominal muscles are not fully back together yet. You still might have a muscle separation at 5 months postpartum, and that can be, you can do exercises to target that, or you can do, go to pelvic floor therapy to help with that. Yeah, it's pretty much what's going on with you for 5 months postpartum. Not a whole lot. Now, I would show you what my body looked at 5 months postpartum, but I'm almost 8 months postpartum, so I will probably not put a picture of that. Okay, so that's pretty much what your body's doing at 5 months postpartum, what to look out for, what your baby's doing at 5 months. Obviously, you know, your baby will develop at their own stage, so it's not a race. Don't compare your baby to other babies just because they will learn at their own pace. You're so cute. Okay. Now, for 6 months, your baby at 6 months. Okay, 6 months. My daughter is 7 months right now, 7.5 months. On the 21st of January, she will be 8 months old. So, this is more up to date, kind of like where she's at a little bit, just because it's more recent. Okay, so first of all, This is more going to be like educational. This part is going to be educational, and then I'll go into what she was doing at 6 months. Okay. Number 1, your baby's strong neck and arm muscles are allowing them to practice rolling over, and she has a lot to say. Rolling over. They will probably master this. Babies often flip from their tummies to their back first, then figure out how to go from their back to their tummies. Once your baby gets the hang of both, they may adapt to rolling as their primary mobility or transportation. Or they may just skip these altogether and move on to sitting and crawling. Keep working on core muscle development with your baby, supporting them as they stand on a big exercising ball, encouraging hand and foot placement while your baby is on their back, and putting toys out of reach to encourage them to roll over. At this age, your baby may be a social butterfly. Chances are, anyone who approaches them, they will welcome with eyes or grins, like with their eyes, or they just might be giggles and grins. Them coming in contact with friends. Your baby is beginning to express their attention. They may want to be noticed by friends and family. They may show like gentle smiles or just laugh at friends and family. Your baby is beginning to experience their attention. You may notice them wiggle, make sounds, blow raspberries, and so on. Over the next 3 months, they will develop a unique personality, ways of letting you know what their needs are. Your baby still needs and creates lots of attention for you. They're learning that their behavior, the ones you like and the ones you don't, will encourage you, and will be for like the rest of their life. Now, okay, 2. Babies, a lot of impulsive control and cognitive. So they're not trying to be like, So basically, your baby is becoming like a little scientist. They're learning how to develop their babbling skills. They're learning how to, like, what actions that you think is okay. Like, they want to get a reaction out of you. Like, okay, if I drop this toy, what will happen? You know? It's not just because they're learning, like, cause and effect, but they're also learning, like, what your reaction will be. Also, with them being a social butterfly, they're just now learning that they are a separate human from you. So that's why you see stranger danger at this age. Some babies might experience it earlier. Some babies might take a little while. Okay. Baby sign language. If you want to induce sign language to your baby, now is the time. They are understanding language and their motor skills developing faster than their ability to speak. Most babies, for example, discover how to wave at 9 months and point by 1, long before they can speak. Give your baby the traits to express themselves by cutting down on their frustration. You can try singing to them or reading a book by playing games. Okay. Your baby makes everyone... Okay, so you can have somebody, like, hand your baby over. You can, like... Okay, hold on. This just got... Hello, mamas. Okay, so finger foods. So when I'm writing things down, it gets mixed up. So we're on to finger foods now. So just hang on with me. Okay, finger foods. Your baby may be mad and let you know that they're getting ready to try finger foods by grabbing the spoon, feeding them with, or snatching your plate. Okay, this little one is all about. So we were on finger foods. They may be scratching. To tell that they're ready is by, like, them trying to reach for your food, trying to snatch a spoon out of your hands, trying to eat, like, your food, or they may just be intensely watching you. That's how you can tell. Or if they're sitting up. So your baby may not be fully ready to sit up independently yet, but your babies are still using. So your babies may not be fully able to sit up yet, even though, like, if you set them up in, like, a little, what's it called? Not a bungalow, but, like, a up-sitting position. They still may be used to purees at this age. Unless you're doing full, like, baby-led weaning, that's definitely your choice. But that's some of the signs that you can tell that your baby is ready to get finger food or baby food. Now, of course, consult with your doctor if your baby's ready, if your baby is showing signs of readiness. Okay, 5. Your baby's also learning about textures, colors, and smells. So letting them have fun with a variant of foods such as finger foods, finger foods like bananas, puree foods, mangoes, peaches, plums, watermelon, like see this watermelon. Okay, and then 6. Reading to your baby. Reading books together with your baby goes for importance. Your baby's improves your baby's language skills. Also, reading to them. It doesn't matter what type of book you choose. Books are called for, so basically it doesn't matter what books you choose to read to your baby. It's just helping with their language skills. You can do board books, books that pop up. Books that pop up, even though they might not be able, you won't have, okay, so your baby won't be able to flip the pages in books until they're about 9 to 12 months old. So them flipping pages of books, they will not be able to do that until they're about 9 to 12 months old. They may not even have the pages to sit while you're reading them a story, but reading a few pages is great. So even reading a few pages is great to them, because like I said, it does help with their language development. They preferably books that are like pop-up books or hardcover books are one of their favorites, especially ones that have lots of colors in them to help with their colors, and to help with them develop their eye coordination. Just because they're starting to develop that, and they're starting to see more colors at this age too. Okay, fine and gross motor skills. Your baby's fine motor skills are coming along. By now, they can probably scoop things up with one hand and transfer an object from one hand to the other frequently, easily. Fine motor skills include small pinchers. Some fingers, hands, in basic movements and are used, such as picking up things from the thumb and fingers. So basically, that's what fine motor skills is, just picking things up with your thumb and fingers, like these two fingers, like a Cheerio or a crumb. Okay, gross motor skills are uniquely for activity like crawling, with using their large muscles. And those muscles include arms, legs, feet, or entire body. Encourage your baby to develop these skills by practicing a toy out of reach and watching them crawl to it, or scoot to it, or arm crawl to it, and you can help with their gross motor skills. Like I said, gross motor skills is using your full entire body. Fine motor skills is using your pincher grabs. So I'm going to grab this, or I'm going to grab this. See how I'm using my pincher grabs. And the best way I can describe it is picking up a Cheerio and putting it in a plastic little bottle, or turning over the little bottle. Now, you could definitely find more skills and more things to do with your kids on Google, on Pinterest. You can also talk to your child's teacher if they do, if they're in a preschool. You can also talk to them about it and see what you can do if your child's behind. Definitely mention to your doctor if you think your child's behind on any of these skills. Remember, premature babies will be always slightly behind depending on how premature they are, so they might take longer to develop these skills. Okay. Your baby can now support some of their weight on their legs, and they love to they love to support their weight. So basically, your baby loves to stand and support. They can start supporting their weight on their feet a little bit. You can support them by holding underneath their arms and help them stand on the floor or on your lap. You may need to help them stand by lifting them up off the ground. But once they start, just watch them go. Okay, 9. So your baby, you can start introducing loveys to your babies, or small, stuffed animal toys. Animals, big and small, will become your baby's lovey. If soon, it will be discovering. So basically, your baby can, it just shows, an independence from you. If they get loveys, they're showing attachment to something else besides you, a lovey, a stuffed animal. If not, that's still okay. There's other ways to self-soothe. So basically, it's just showing them their independence. Okay. that's pretty much everything that your baby is doing at 6 months. 6 months. Okay, so before I go into what your body is doing at 6 months, now going on to my daughter at 6 months. Now, my daughter Rayla is not allowed to eat baby food just yet. Yes, she is showing signs of readiness by grabbing my plate, by looking at what I'm trying to drink. We're still waiting on a swallow test for her, and that's to make sure that she's not silently aspirating. Now, we did have her ultrasound of her, like an echocardiogram of her heart. The left valve is finally closed, so she doesn't have any more heart issues, which is great, which is awesome. And that also goes hand in hand with less brew episodes, so she's not choking or gagging or stopping breathing on us as frequently. So that's really good. She is now starting to sit up on her own. She still kind of leans on her hands and still needs support with that. She has begun to roll over from back to stomach and stomach to back. So now she just rolls all over the place. She's also starting to army crawl now and starting to pull up on things. Now this is with all the help of having a physical therapist. Yes, she still has a low muscle tone. We're still working on her low muscle tone. So it's getting so much better. She's able to lift up her head now. We don't have to feel like we have to support her head as much at this age, so that is awesome. She's going in the right direction. She's still behind because she is a premature baby. She was born 4 weeks early, so she was born at 36 weeks. So we give her about 4 weeks to catch up with everybody else, and she seems to be good doing that. She does have genetic testing. I won't go into the genetic testing that we are specifically targeting just because we don't have those answers yet, and I don't want to give false information, or if it's not what we thought we were testing for, I want to keep that stuff private until I get that information back. But she's doing really well. She's doing really well. That's pretty much all I really have to update. She's doing really well. She's babbling. She says mama and dada. Those are her only 2 words that she says. That's what she's doing at 6 months old. She's on track, which makes me extremely happy. Okay, so going on to your body at 6 months postpartum. So your body at 6 months postpartum, most women's hormones are returning back to normal. You've lost your pregnancy weight by now. Your stretch marks are fading. Your abdominal muscles are returning back to normal. If they're not, and you still have separation of the muscles, definitely see a physical therapist for that. Most women will experience their periods, their menstrual cycle around this time. If not, that's perfectly okay if you are breastfeeding. You may experience postpartum hair loss. I know I have. I have a lot of hair. I have experienced postpartum hair loss. Some of the ways to help with that is by taking your prenatal vitamins. I need to remember to do that. That's pretty much it for what you're doing up from 6 months postpartum. You're not really doing much. Your body's just trying to go back to normal. Your muscles, your uterus, everything's just trying to go back to normal, how it was pre-pregnancy. Now, if you are breastfeeding, your hormones still may fluctuate. They may not be fully back to normal. By 6 months, your brain is back to its original size. Because if you did not know, during pregnancy, your brain shrinks 6 times. Or your brain shrinks during pregnancy. I think it shrinks. I don't remember how much it shrinks. I think it shrinks 6 times, but don't quote me on that because I'm not exactly sure. But your brain shrinks, which is an interesting fact that your brain shrinks. So pregnancy brain and mama brain is a real thing, and it will affect you for the rest of your life. So I thought that was an interesting fact. Little one, what are you doing? She is all over the place. Okay, so some other things that might be going on at 6 months is your baby might be getting their first teeth, or the first tooth. So this is around 6 months to 10 months. Some babies might even start teething as early as 3 months, which is just crazy. Some of the ways to help with your baby teething is providing a cold washcloth by chilling in the refrigerator or the freezer. You can do teething toys. You can rub your clean finger gently, firmly along their gums. And this might help with pain or discomfort. You can also like offer your baby like some solid foods like bread, biscuits, anything that's kind of like hard to chew on. Some frozen popsicles of breast milk, but definitely watch out for like choking hazards and stuff like that. Okay, so now if my baby has her first cold, so here are some of the things to help with like your baby having first cold and some of the symptoms to look out for. Just because I know it's cold season where I live, because it's winter where I live. Okay, 1. It's estimated that your baby can catch up to 8 colds within a year. A virus spreads through airborne droplets by touching objects like doorknobs and toys. Your baby can't fight them off as easily as their immune system is less developed as yours. Also, do not scold your baby for putting things in their mouth. They are actually learning important skills such as textures and shapes. If your baby's in a group of daycare or has an older sibling, they may experience likely to come in contact with some of the hundreds different colds and germs. 2. Some of the cold symptoms to look out for when your baby is sick is sneezing, watery eyes, stuffy nose, fussiness, and low-grade fevers. These symptoms usually last about a week. Also remember that your baby also breathes through their nose instead of their mouth. So their nose might be very congested still, and that might make for your baby harder to eat or breathe. You can do sucking out their nose, and they may not be happy with you sucking out their nose, so you can do like a nose aspirator. You can do a cold mist or a humidifier in the room. What are we doing, Pumpkin? Let's not do that, please. No, thank you. Okay, you're just gonna hear her keep getting into stuff because that's what she wants to do. You can also try having them eat smaller meals more frequently. You can also contact your doctor if your baby is like super sick and you have concerns about them. Definitely contact your doctor. And premature babies are more likely to get sick just because they don't have a great immune system as it is. So definitely watch out for that too. Remember, all babies develop at their own pace. If you have any concerns, definitely consult your doctor about getting into physical therapy. You know, any therapy that your baby might think that they might benefit from. Okay, so baby constipation. If you've ever experienced your baby being constipated, it is more common for your baby to be constipated while formula feeding. And if they are constipated while formula feeding, if they are constipated by formula feeding, you can always try switching the formula up. You can try different techniques. Always talk to your doctor about like Miralax and stuff like that. So it is less common for your baby to be constipated if they are breastfeeding. I did not know that. I had no idea. So yeah, some of the techniques that you can do is rubbing their belly firmly, doing pedaling, like you pedal their legs and then you press their legs back. That might help. Great bladder might help. Those are some of the things that helped my baby when she was constipated. That's all I really have much to update you guys on. I am going to show your belly just because I am, like, my belly at 7 months postpartum, just because this is, 5 to 6 months postpartum, and I just turned 7 months postpartum. So, might as well just show you guys my belly and what it looks like for being 7 months postpartum. So that's my belly. As you can see, I still have my stretch marks. Ooh. That's what I look like for being 7 months postpartum. Yeah, hi. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something out of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and comment like below, or comment what else you guys want to see. Like any suggestions of what you guys want to see, like video suggestions. But bye, you guys.